Hello and welcome, guys, to USCL Season 1. This is Playday number 3. This is the Favelas versus Joe Esports Best of 3. Hello, I am Benny Yao with Cookies R6 here to cast and host this first game, or his first game that's going to be recorded at least. Mm-hmm. And so, guys, we have our two teams. We'll go through the map bands. We'll go through who's on each team.
Yeah, I guess starting with Joe, the team that kind of finished top 4 last season, the last season of Challenger League. This is the USCL now, not the regular CL. This is the opening season of the new format, and the new Joe Esports. We've got Wimpy, Clicks, Rethink, and Beastly and Prophecy. Of course, Beastly and Prophecy coming over from Vanquish, who was also from last season, another top 4 team from last season that unfortunately didn't make it into this season. And you want to know why? It was because of the Favelas roster that Joe is playing against today, which is going to be consisting of Jolton, Thumbus, DS Lucas BR, and Abonai Carnage B from, I guess some of y'all will remember Run It Back from last season's qualifiers.
Yeah, I think Karn and one of the teams was Zaku and a few others. They made another team called Ice Coffee that didn't make it to qualifiers. Mm-hmm. That was a team also in qualifiers that wanted to make it there, couldn't do it. So they, unfortunately, 2 members of Favelas that were playing with them maybe didn't do well enough or something that happened, but they dropped those 2 and they picked up Karn and Abonai instead. You know, people make decisions, people make roster changes and see how it works out for them as we have these 3 maps. Let's go through map BAMs. Let's go through what exactly maps we'll be playing today. So we'll go through and see first that the first maps banned out here are going to be Villa and Cafe. Were banned out by Joe and Favelas. Joe banning first. And then move into the pick phase and to pick maps from Joe and from Favelas.
Yeah, we're going into that. This part of the new season format is the ban pick best of 3. So Joe ended up picking Consulate, which historically is one of their better maps going back to when they first were kind of initiated as a team about a season and a half ago. And then Favelas is going to be picking up Coast, which they actually used to their advantage to kind of take out Beast Coast, who's basically known as Bro last season. That was the win that Favelas was able to pick up to kind of force this rematch between Joe and Favelas. And it was a pretty, very Coastline, very aggressive game especially from DS Lucas BR. Of course, nobody knows what the game actually looked like because, it was not recorded or anything, but DS Lucas did drop fat, I think it was 15-3, something like that, against top 3 teams.
It was 11-3 actually. It was 11-3, something like that. It was still double digits.
It was ridiculous. It was like a 4.0 KD. He basically dropped a nuke on Bruh or Beast Coast, who used to be known as Bruh, and he's definitely going to be a one to watch, especially on a map like Coastline. As again, they're going to be able to pick the map that they want thanks to this new format, the new ban pick, and of course that final map is going to be Oregon after we see I want to say Joe banned Club, not sure. Yep.
Joe banned Club and then Favelas banned Theme Park, and that brings us to our last map of Oregon. If you guys want to know the sides though, so because Joe was able to pick their side or pick the map of Villa, or not Villa, Consulate, Favelas picked their side to pick defense, so Joe will be attack starting off first on Consulate, and then because it was the map pick Coastline for Favelas, Joe picks a side of attack, so Joe is attacking on both maps first and also attacking on Oregon as well to start.
Yeah, a lot of attacking going to be coming out from Joe. Hopefully we get all 3 maps, but yeah, we are all set to go into this matchup, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be Favelas versus Joe Esports on Consulate.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. We've seen them play Consulate before. If you guys like to, we just saw some pretty screenshots. We also saw them play on Consulate. I think we didn't see them play Consulate last week. Actually, it was on. They played on Clubhouse last week against. They played against Last Dance last week. They played against on Clubhouse, and they played Oregon. So interesting to see how they do here in Consulate. I've seen them win before though against other teams on as well from last season and this season too. So I'm interested they do. I saw the ban so far from Fellas though. Fellas banned first. Sorry, first attacking ban. Maybe no ban, I'm thinking, or Thatcher.
And you're definitely going to expect with Favelas starting defense first. You're going to probably expect either one of those run out denial operators like Gridlock or Nomad. This map is extremely run out based. If you let the attackers just kind of repel and take map control, it's going to be really hard to get things done. But we're actually going to be seeing the Thatcher ban coming out from Favelas, which is going to have some sort of degree of impact. But depending on how Joe clears, if Joe clears top down on most of the sites, they shouldn't have any trouble like going above and dealing with wall denial.
Yeah.
I suppose it's more of like something for like Jaeger and Wamais are going to be able to have a lot more lifetime as we see Capital go off the board as well. It's going to make those yellow stairs takes, especially on that 3rd, 4th side, a little bit more difficult to organize. But
interesting to see if they ban like Jaeger or Thatcher. The Mirror ban is interesting. Mirror is not as powerful on constant, but we've seen Mirror played very well on that, that split site, Archives and the Tellers. Because if you play Tellers, you played that downstairs site, use those Mirrors to deny a push downstairs. That's where Mirror becomes a handful. And the last one's gonna be Jaeger. So that's what I'm thinking about, because Wamai is now in play. So having those disc and those magnets and the ADSs makes, very difficult for the attack to deal with things, because how many projectiles get denied.
Yeah, curious. Favelas, starting defense are going to be the ones to actually do the Thatcher Jaeger ban themselves. But we are going to be going into round 1 here. And once again, Favelas is going to be bringing in 2 new players with Abunai and Carnage B. And those 2 players replace the 2 support players of Arrow and goodness me, Kino.
Yes, both of those Kino. I don't know.
Kino.
Yeah. Kino.
He's not around for us to ask him now, is he? Now, so we've got Abunai and Karn actually going to be pulling out those support operators, Mutant, Maestro, and it's going to be lobby first for Favelas.
Yeah, first site to start on. They're going to start on one of the sites you expect for most teams to maybe have last, because it's more difficult sites. It does give a lot more leeway to playing, though, because you do need to play upstairs. You need to deny that vertical play from the attack, or use it to your advantage as the defense. So usually you'll see teams play a bit more, aggressive on this site compared to if you're playing, garage and kitchen, or if you're playing upstairs and CEO and projector.
And we actually see more and more teams actually play the basement, almost like an inverted style, which you talked about. Like, instead of playing the top floor, they may reinforce the top floor and kind of play the basement with C4s and pulse. And honestly, given the lineup from Favelas, I think they're going to cade the hatches and reinforce them above and potentially C4 upwards with the pulse. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're going to actually reinforce the corner hatch and CEO and a projector hatch. And they're going to play the basement with reinforcements and mute jammers behind that thatchman. That's going to be pretty difficult for Joe to deal with. But Joe actually brought the thermite because it's typically, customary to bring the thermite for the first attacking round. You don't know where the defenders are going to go, and you don't want to be caught lacking in terms of your breachers. And it looks like Joe's actually going to be clearing top down, actually. Again, like, kind of playing into Favelas setup here.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm interested to see if they understand that. They didn't bring an IQ. There's still Valkyrie on the board, and there's Pulses here too. So, it could be a wasted opportunity not to bring an IQ to help out with these kind of information as well. So we'll see exactly if this goes in the way of Joe, if they can understand how this is being played out and not fall into the trap of being C4 from below as they go for a plant.
And this push has to be kind of rapid here from Joe, because if they dawdle around too much above and don't actually deal with I believe that is 3 C4s from Favelas, they're going to find themselves clearing out something that's not defended and then get C4 late in the round. But they're kind of moving quickly. They're already a minute, and they've obviously figured out that the top floor is clear, and they've already kind of blocked off the staircases. But again, those C4s in the basement are going to be huge come late round, given that Joe honestly isn't even going to have a real way to open the garage given the bans. Like, how are you even going to get the mute jammers off of that triple wall garage? Like, those guys are going to be really hard to push late round.
Yeah, it seems like the only way they can do it is if they were to take in or go open the yellow stairs and try and destroy the electric claw. You see, looks like they've taken control upstairs. They're looking to open up these hatches. You can put those thermite charges next to the hatches and open them. So it looks like they're trying to do it right now. So it looks like the first hatch will be opened up in the corner of the projector, or not projector, piano. And so that's one hatch opened up in the sledge of we think it's going to work. Trying to open as many holes as you can, find anybody who's on site maybe. But again, because of the way they're playing, there's really nobody on site actually. So maybe all of this, hard breach or soft breaching on the top floor may come to waste. DS Luke is taking a bit of damage though. Looks like he's playing in the bathroom.
Yeah, it's kind of like they're kind of blowing up the floor for no particular goal, as like I said, they're all in the basement and they're all just kind of pulsing out this attack here, waiting for their attacks to push in. And I don't know if they can anticipate Click's planning in this awkward off spot, and Click's just gonna get it. No reaction from Favelas. It's a 5v5 plant. Wimpy takes out Jolton, rethinking. Traded by Jolton, and it's simultaneous kills there. About a quarter of the diffuser going down, and Wimpy with the first 2 kills of this matchup. The first 3 kills of the matchup. Wimpy, the star from last season, finishing off Abunai. It's just Karn and Diaz, and they've got nothing to work with here. A 1v4.
Yeah, there goes Karn. It's just Wimpy now, or Wimpy's taking all. Wimpy's got a 4K for the round, and Diaz is the last person left alive. Diaz gets one though. It's clicks down the hallway, benches, goes down, but he's getting finished off by Prophecy, and that's Joe Esports take the first round here on Consulate with being able to evade that defense or that strategies from the Favelas.
Yeah, I mean, they just, I don't know if it's a combination of them just completely hitting the finesse on the guy on the pulse in the basement, had no idea where Clicks was planning. I mean, and let's talk about Clicks here for a second. Clicks last season was one of the best planting thermites, you know, this side of the West, this side of the Mississippi. Clicks was amazing at getting the bomb down for Joe last season. And I imagine Beastly being brought on as well. He's not necessarily planning, but between those two, they have two of the best F key pressers in the entire T2 scene pretty much. So Joe just demonstrating that ability to get the bomb down yet again into this new season as it's a swift round.
Defenders, protect your bombs from
Yeah, that was a really quick round from them. It looks like they understand that they are C4 from below, so that's why you saw rethinking plants in that very odd position. No, those Clicks actually plants in that very odd position was in the corner of that circle desk where you could be C4'd, but that would require the post to be scanning in the correct position at the correct time. So even though it was a 7-second timer, which can be long, it wasn't long enough to allow for the pulse to find out where they're planting. So now we'll go down to Cafeteria Garage for our next site here from the Favelas. We'll see how they plays out. They can play this aggressive again, maybe play an off roam, because again, PNO control is very important for this site.
It looks like we're going to be seeing a bathroom hold with some Mozzies on that admin side of the map on the third floor, pretty much to deter. I mean, most attackers, they come in from the admin side. The whole clear starts from the admin side, and it's just a drone game from there. And Lucas is kind of wise to that, already disrupting the drone economy. It looks like attackers actually aren't going to be clearing from admin. They're just going straight for the wall, it looks like.
There's nothing to stop them, so they can just go straight for the wall. There was a mute there, but looks like the mute didn't put his jammers at the wall. He might place him upstairs instead. And Clicks first kill onto Karn, playing that hallway by pipes. Still first time the first kill, and it's already someone you want to lose. It's Smoke with those canisters to deny a plant not available anymore for the team of Favelas. Let's see how the rest of this round goes out as they're trying to just push and find maybe more frags on the behind this cars. Maybe still on site, but let's see what they do next.
Favelas, the one thing you have to point out with Favelas that's blatantly obvious here.
Oh.
They're clearly not ready for anything. Joe's just completely in the sight, and they're literally going full Donkey Kong on the players in sight. Lucas rotating down and Thumbus offside in the yellow stairs, and there's not much they can do here given the Nomads and Sophia stuns. All the angles already locked down. It's going to take some hero play, but Lucas is, if there's anyone to do it, it's going to be Lucas. He pulls up the C4 at the wrong moment, and he's unable to finish off Clicks. It's a 1-on-3. Mr. Thumbus B, he's got to find 3.
Yeah, Thumbus in the last one around. If he won't find anybody to finish him off, and Joey's supposed to take 2 rounds in a row. That was a rush they did not expect from Joe Esports as they opened the wall up. They didn't even try to clear anything upstairs. They didn't try to clear any other roamer. They just went straight for the kills. They were able to just find both, 3 players on site because they got the first kill. Clicks gets the first kill. They walk on site, they flick dust 2, and the last 2 members have to try and make their way back to the site. And, you know, what she said before, those air jabs from Nomad, the concussions from Zofia, it's pretty much impossible.
I mean, the thing with Favelas, like I was trying to get to it before Joe just went in and got after it, but the thing with Favelas is they just made a roster change. They have the most fresh roster in the league now. So it's blatantly, and I mean blatantly obvious right there that Favelas didn't necessarily have the strat book fully read there. I mean, Abunai was still reinforcing. He didn't have the mute jammer down on the wall so that Thermite was able to just walk up and pull the pin and blow it, and Joe just went for it, and Abunai's literally mid-reinforcement while Clicks just inside. That's just definitely some, you know, I didn't know what to reinforce or something going on there from Favelas, which you're going to get when you're adding new players on such short notice. And they're going to be going to the Archive site, which is honestly more complex than Barrage. So
yeah, especially with Mirror not available too. This is a very interesting choice. Not bringing Mirror, you can't defend downstairs nearly as easily, and teams will also just sometimes rush downstairs too.
I mean, Joe's clearly showing they have no fear. They've got a lot of experience now. This isn't the same Joe that came in the last season, you know, all wide-eyed and nobody really knew who they were. They've got veterans. They've got a top 4 finish, you know, on their backs, and they're
5 seconds left.
Definitely playing like the veterans here. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be an Archive site without a mirror, which is doable. They still have the Maestro for intel. They still have the Pulse, but they're going to have to win their ones against Joe, assuming Joe decides to push down those stairs to deal with the players who are inevitably going to be shooting upwards into that office, whatever you want to call it, the visa office.
Yeah, the teller's office, like they should be. Like most teams you've seen before, you watch NAL so far. Most teams when they play this out, they have the pulse below and the shotguns and the C4s to deny any kind of push or plant inside tellers. Because with that pulse, you can get those first kills. Jolton with the first kill of the round, though, onto Wimpy. So it looks like they were maybe trying to rush that downstairs site, and Wimpy will be the first death of the round as he maybe was pushing too fast without his team.
And Joe's actually going to be. I mean, Prophecy's already in again. He's literally on the gate of the site right now, looking for a crouch walk kill on the player playing near Spiral. Actually, there's no one actually in the site. No, it looks like the player just rotated in the site. That's the castle. That's a UMP, an unaware UMP versus Mr. Prophecy. But none of the shots connect, and Prophecy's getting away his position now. So definitely going to be feeling the pressure of that castle, which is Mr. Carnage B. But dodged a bullet there, surviving.
Yeah, this is also a lot of different angles they're playing as they're opening up from above and from sight. Beastly on the window. He's going to finish off Karn. So Karn is trying to run for his life. He was being pinged by a drone, though. He's being found at every single angle. And now at this point, yeah, they have upstairs control. They have sight control of tellers, but can they stop them from getting C4 from below? Because they still have, what, they probably have 2 or 3 C4s, probably 3 C4s still available to the Favelas.
You've got 81 bullets and you've got a bunch of C4s, but the Maestro cams we just saw got taken out. So it's going to come down to the Pulse, who kind of failed before to detect where the plant was going down. So if I had to bet, I'm not necessarily confident in Pulse's abilities, but the plant's going to go down. Clicks is going to start it, but he's going to bait it. This is the guy who gets plants down. He knows how to move around. He knows how to shuck and dive, and he dodges the C4 there. And rethinking a Prophecy take out players below. None of the C4s flying up because they're being pushed below by some of the best fraggers T2 seen. Prophecy leading the way there, but he's taken out by DS Lucas, who has to find 2 here in this 1-on-2 situation, and Intel is not on his side. His Pulse is dead. The cameras are dead. It's just game sense and a real thick boy here in Cade. It's going to be nearly impossible for him to sneak up and have a drop on these 2 attackers. Oh, he's just going to sprint up. But yeah, he's giving away. He's so loud. The Cade is just so loud at sprinting, and it's just... Maybe if he was on the old Jaeger with the 3 speed, he would have had a chance there, but Joe taking 3 rounds to start.
He's on a heavy operator, trying to deal with his attack, though. But good work from Joe Esports, though. They did lose a member early on in Wimpy, who maybe they pushed too quickly right into Jolton, who was playing the Pulse. But they were able to come back. They would take control up top floor, and then you saw Clicks on site baiting the C4s, but you also saw Prophecy and Rethinking push downstairs at the same time. So while the Pulse was trying to use his teammates to coordinate those C4s, the other attackers were pushing downstairs to deny that, or even just get the kill so they can deny it altogether. So by the time they got that plant down, it did was a range of kills back and forth. So it became a 2v1, but it still was a 2v1 post plant where the Sledge of Rethinking and Click just go upstairs and they can just watch the diffusers from top floor.
And it's just like, it's kind of like what you talked about before, how there's just no mirror to kind of prevent that from happening. There's no mirror that you can watch on the blue hallway and the bottom spiral little corridor there. There's no mirror to put there to kind of deny that. So they're able to just hit that crouch walk. I mean, Prophecy, we saw he was looking to make an aggressive play on the stairs from the get-go. And once Carnage B, the castle anchoring that top split site, was taken out, it was just kind of free pickings there for Joe.
Yeah, that was definitely just way too easy at that point for Joe. That was, also I say too easy, but it was very, they knew what they did. They coordinated push. Without the mirror, it's hard to tell when people are pushing down the stairs. It's hard to, give information out without any other people besides the Pulse. The Maestro cannons were evilized upstairs. They weren't in positions to, see if someone's running down spiral stairs, running down, Visa stairs, and to tell, Favelas if they're being pushed on that bottom floor. So unfortunately, they fall trapped to that kind of pinch or that kind of bait from Joe. And so now we go back to the site and see if they can, because already 3 rounds in a row, we've seen Joe win 3 in a row here in Consulate. That's pretty crazy.
And Clicks is planted every single round. It seems like he's going for the Olympic world record of plants, T2 plants. And it looks like a totally different strat altogether for Favelas. They're not bringing the Cade, and they're not bringing, they're basically not playing to hold the basement. They're actually playing to hold the top floor. Look at how wide open that wall is. They're just saying, Lucas, you are LeBron. Win this fight against everyone, against this wide open wall. And Jolton is going to be playing his long hallway there with the Goyo.
Yeah, I'm just to see how they do this. You have both players. You have 2 players upstairs. You have 3 on site. Looks like, I don't know if there's any C4s being used. I think actually there's no C4s being brought. Maybe Jolton has a C4. That's really about it. So I'm interested to see exactly what they do here, as there looks like 2 players playing upstairs, trying to deny this push, and whether or not Joe can deny these 2 players or at least push into projector, because that's probably what they did last time. Is they usually on the site, when you take the site, you deny person playing projector, and then you can at least plant without having that vertical pressure on the planter.
Be solo pushing the Visa hallway by himself while the rest of his team clears out the top floor. And yeah, just a totally different philosophy from Favelas. They're opting to use the ACOGs here to kind of play for some sort of zone of control, but it looks like Lucas is actually trying to he's pinging the hatch there for someone to open it and get him out of there. Get me out of here, he's screaming. And Abinai is actually going to be still lurking on the top yellow stairs, but Joe essentially established projector control now and can kind of go for that default front door plant, as there's no pulse or C4s actually from below unless Jolton just blindly throws one. There's not going to be intel on the plan again. So
yeah, it's getting to the last minute. It's still a 5v5, which is definitely interesting to see. As one thing, at least Favelas have wasted time so far. Maybe not on much time, but they've wasted enough time where this could still be a flurry or maybe a bit of a rush from them. Clicks going for the plant now. We have Karn maybe the one to try and deny them. A beast with a shot on the Jolton into the bathroom. The smoke was not in the right place. It doesn't deny. Actually, no, it is clicks, but not fast enough to actually stop planting the diffuser. Now it's just a 1v5 as all players are gone. Rethink gets F1 on a DS. Wimpy gets another as well, and now it's just down to the last man. He can't find out. It's Prophecy finished with Abinai and Joe Esports 4 in a row with this flawless round here.
Yeah, I mean, what a start for Joe. I mean, literally planting every single round, having multiple people up. I think the closest round was that Archives round where it was a 2v1 and it was pretty much unwinnable for the Cade anyway. And I think even that was like a 1v3 at one point. It's just all just violent, aggressive action from Joe. And I mean, you saw Wimpy took control of the Visa hallway, which is critical on that site because now nobody can swing in from Spiral to deny the plant with bullets. They also didn't bring the pulse, and they didn't bring, I mean, they brought 3 different bulletproof cameras between them, the Doc and the 2 Maestros, but I kind of figured like the attackers, if you do the math, they've got enough flashbang, they've got enough Sophia charges, they've got enough grenades that they can just clear out those 3 different cameras. And once you do that, it's just like Clicks can literally just plant. They don't know when he's actually planting, and then when they go to do anything, it's just Joe already has the angles. They have the front door and they have bottom Spiral, and they have projector too, and then that's all they need to just plant and win. And that's 4-0 for Joe Esports.
Yeah, being able to cover all the angles is really good here from Joe Esports. On top of the fact they're able to get those kills on people peeking as well. You saw Jolta peeking bathroom lose that fight. You saw then go for the smokes from I think it was Karn trying to go for the smokes, trying to deny the plant, but he was too late. Also getting killed out in that same engagement while throwing those smoke canisters. But in the end, it's just really good work from Joe, just being able to understand, hey, these are the angles we gotta cover. You know, as you said before, you got the hallway of for Spiral, so that we can sway from there. The upstairs control, like that's one thing I probably didn't see as well, is like they didn't really contest upstairs control. They just let them take it, even though they did take some time.
I mean, remember I was like, oh, Diaz was like, get me out of here, and he's pinging the hatch. I mean, they had the walls open and everything, like you know, they were saying, you know, if you want me, come get me, and then they just dropped out. And I mean, that was all they were playing for because, like you said, there's no C4s. But back to the basement, and looks like the mute jammer got dealt with by a grenade, and Clicks is just gonna be able to plant, or rather, plant the thermite charge on the wall, as the rest of his team is. I don't even think anyone's actually roaming for Favelas here, so it's possible Joe Esports is able to actually drone out and take the whole map. There is a player holding a bathroom, and there is Mr. Lucas above, just by himself, though. So, question is, does Joe just bomb rush it, or did they actually clear this out?
So it looks like there's 3 on site again, like last time. Hopefully this time you don't see, you know, Karn get killed out as soon as he did last time when they opened the wall. Diaz playing aggressive, walking around Visa, maybe looking for anybody pushing at a different angle, but most of just Joe is by his garage. Nobody's pushing any other angle besides garage and yellow stairs for the moment. Wimpy's getting an angle on yellow stairs, looking for somebody to go shoot. He takes some shots from kitchen. Looks like there's bullet holes inside a small office trying to deny the yellow stairs, and it looks as though Joe's kind of walk in, go for a plant.
And Lucas is honestly not in any position to help this out here. He's kind of in Zimbabwe, and the other player's holding a bathroom. I mean, Lucas is so kind of offhanded here that he's not even in position to stop Prophecy from literally running down Spiral. Prophecy missing the spam. But that's so much pressure applied on the site, and unless Lucas is able to flank the Ash here, this is going to get really uncomfortable really quickly. Look at the positions for Favelas. Not comfortable at all. Prophecy, oh my lord, from the back, hitting it from the back. He takes out 2, but Abinai trades Prophecy out. Wimpy finding Thumbus, and Abonai's taken out elsewhere, and it's just Joe is just that is 5 plants, isn't it? Did he plant that?
That is 5 plants. I think he got the plant down 2 as well. So that was 5 plants in a row. And again, it's just these different angles they're able to exploit, and Favelas aren't able to figure this out, don't have the information, deal with it. Diaz playing in Visa comes down too late because by the time that hit comes down, Prophecy's already in the hallway of pipes, deals with the players in small office, deals with the player in kitchen. He doesn't get finally refragged by Abonai, but by that point they had control of site. There's guys coming through garage as well, getting the plant down, taking out the rest of the members on site, and just a 1v4 I think it was for DS at that point.
Yeah, that was pretty much unwinnable. I mean, I saw Prophecy solo droning it before, but he basically said, I mean, like I said, Diaz was like across the world. Like he's in the Visa double door, and Prophecy's like already down spiral. So it's like that's your only roamer, and there he was in no position to take a 1v1 or anything with Prophecy, and Prophecy just completely punished him for that. Just no punishment, just walks down spiral, finds 2 people. And even at that point, it was like Joe had most of the angles controlled on the main garage wall anyway. So it was just painful. It's five plants in 5 rounds for Joe. All of them clean rounds.
5 rounds have just been like most of these rounds have been very one-sided. It's been Joe Esports running the angles, just keeping the pace of the game in their corner as they keep playing this out. And so far, it doesn't seem like Favelas are able to try and bring it back to their side. They keep not able to figure out how exactly Joe is going to play it out. They keep falling for his little things. Like just crouch walking down spiral stairs. Where's the barbed wire? Where's the the intel to make sure someone doesn't do something like that?
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
Just really loose setups. If they actually think out their setups, Favelas, like we saw the CEO Cade hold strat that they brought out in lobby once, it's like Joe just they have their counters already. Clicks is putting thermite charges on Caded hatches. They already figured out how to counter the Cade. It's like Joe's definitely showing that this is their map pick for a reason. That's blatantly obvious now, but the question is Favelas gonna be able to have a mental reset here and prevent this from just getting completely out of hand, preventing Clicks from getting his 6th plant. I don't think I've ever seen that in any game I've ever casted. 6 plants in 6 rounds.
Yeah, every single round, and they've been able to get in, secure the angles, and allow for Clicks to plant with that coverage from each of their players. It's been 6 every single round. Joe is supposed to seem to know what they do. We're going back to archives and tell us for our last round of this half before we switch sides, and we'll have Joe on defense, we'll have Favelas on attack. At the same time, we're going to archives and tellers, and we'll see if they can still pull this off where they want to C4 from below and deny the plant. Last time they went for the plant, they had Clicks go inside of tellers start planting, but it was a bait that allowed 4 the other attackers from Joe to walk downstairs and take fights with the defenders who weren't ready.
I mean, Clicks is just too good at that. He's shifty. He's got the moves. So he's just able to dodge the C4s. I mean, what can you do? When Clicks smokes, .234 is just... I just realized he had .234 in his name, too. Just like the rest of PogChamp. But, yeah, I mean, it's hard to deal with when a guy is able to plant so well. I mean, it's an underrated skill to have, for sure. And Clicks gonna open this hatch here to actually create some pressure, force the defenders to watch this drop while they're trying to C4 up. It's already getting rough here for Favelas, but again, they still have this pulse alive. They've just got to find some way to watch the push that we saw Joe go for last time. They kind of pushed down and shot the player C4ing. So question is Favelas gonna, oh my lord.
Yeah, Wimpy's they're just taking up upstairs. Like Karn looks like he was on a roam trying to be very shifty and at least go for a late flank, but he'll get found out by Wimpy. So that's your first member of the borders. Karn playing the castle. Roaming castle is definitely an odd one to bring, but what else are you gonna do with it? Thumbus with a great shot, and the beastly Abonai gets rethinking, but Prophecy coming down these stairs. Let's take out Thumbus and a refrag, and now that's that control going back and forth. Looks like it's trying to fake attack upstairs and downstairs as well. Just tactic. Wimpy gets 1, Prophecy gets another. He takes a Prophecy, but the plant now goes down above because of all of these different skirmishes on the bottom floor. So now just leaves DS Lucas again in a 1v2 just like last time.
Yeah, is he gonna... That C4 actually does no damage to the Wimpy Wimp kid, and Wimpy actually gets smoked on the pre-fire. This is a winnable 1v1 unlike last time, but he still makes so much noise, and Clicks has the high ground. He's positioned high up on the hill, and Lucas has to find his way up. He has to find a way to get this kill on the Clicks. He doesn't have a C4 to throw up above, and Clicks has these ridiculously sized holes. His only hope's a ninja, and there's just not enough time. Clicks. Even my grandma could hit that shot. A stationary defending player, no time to defuse, and it's just Clicks. Six plants. Vinny. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plants for Clicks. He should just put
Yeah.
@clicksmokes.6 in his name, because all he does is plant 6 times.
Six times in a row they planted. 6 times in a row they kill the rest of the defenders on a post plant here for Joe Esports. We'll switch sides. We'll have Joe now on defense and Favelas on attack. But Joe Esports only need 1 round to finish this map out, to go to the next map, which again is Coastline for the Favelas.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, Joe is literally, they have the full, it's like a giant anaconda snake just fully constricting friends like Favelas here. But at this point, I mean, I don't even know it. I wouldn't even say the bans are like defense or attacker side or anything. If anything, these are like, I mean, I wouldn't say the Jaeger being gone makes any sort of difference. I mean, Favelas is the ones that banned Jaeger, right? So it's like, that can't be the reason why this is just so lopsided. I just think Joe kind of has this map on lock.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you before. You talked about the fact that they have 2 new players bringing Carr and Abaddon on the board. I'm not sure how well seasoned or how much the chemistry is for this team, but you can tell Joe, they know this map in and out. They're playing it perfectly well in attack. And Prophecy looks like he might be lagging out though. He's walking in place. He might be losing a member. This might give a round up. Yeah, there goes Prophecy. So this might give some rounds back to the Favelas. Looks like they'll be calling for rehouse guys, so we'll be back in a little bit. This wasn't enough time. So let's go to a quick break. We'll come back to our nice faces. We'll talk about the game before we need to go to a break, or we get this game back on the road.
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
So far it's 6-0 for Joe Esports. They've spent 6 rounds in attack where they've been able to find angles, find exploits, and find mistakes made by Favelas and exploit them every single time.
Yeah, they're definitely showing mastery of the map. Like this, like I said, this was in the pregame. This is a map that Joe historically was always pretty good at. It was like a map most teams banned against them. And again, it's like this new format, Joe is guaranteed to get, I mean, not just Joe, any team really is guaranteed to, with Ban Ban Pick Pick, you're guaranteed to get a map that you really like. And Joe, like I said, historically liked it. I feel like they only got better in the offseason with the pickups. Prophecy and Beastly, like those are 2 players who came from a team that literally, I think, finished top 4 with Joe last season. It's for all intents and purposes, it's a T2 super team basically for Joe. And the funny thing about that, you know, we see in NAL, we see Sonics with J90 lags. J90 lags are supposed to play for Joe. And the thing is, it's like, I mean, Joe they kind of got lucky. It's where it's like they landed with it's like they lost J90 lags, right? And then it's like, you know, it's like, whatever, we'll just end up with 2 other really good players that could honestly, I feel like Beastly and Prophecy are also NAL candidates. Prophecy was like NA's best kept secret for a couple seasons, until I think he got picked up by Akatsuki a couple seasons ago for Challenger League. He ended up finally getting scouted out, and it's like there's a lot of like players like that in NA, and I think Prophecy's gonna be one of those players eventually. It's just a matter of time, right? And it's like Joe ends up with like 4 different like really good free agent pickups between J90 lags, Prophecy, and Beastly. So they're looking pretty right now.
Yeah, definitely. Seen Wimpy come up too as well. We talked about Wimpy last week when we saw him on the main stream as well. Wimpy doing fantastic. He's still, even no matter what we've seen so far, Wimpy's still consistently able to frag out, give it kills you wouldn't expect him to get. So I'm definitely excited to see how Joe does. I think so. If they win this next one, they play against. Who they play against next week? If they win this,
I don't think it would be drawn yet. My brain is not big enough.
I think they play the winner of PogChamp and Polar Race, maybe, or the loser. I think the winner actually. I can't remember.
It would be the loser.
That'll be like 2 weeks from now.
Because Last Dance already won the group, so Last Dance would be playing the last play, or I want to say second place from the other group, Group A.
Oh yeah.
And then Joe would be playing probably PogChamp, assuming this is clean 2-0 or something.
I think they'd play. So Last Dance play Ren Free, because Ren Free and them are both first place in their respective groups, and then I guess PogChamp will play against, or either the winner of PogChamp, because PogChamp plus Polaris went again yesterday, I guess you would say, or they played already. Who wins that will play against Joe, I'm assuming. I don't know.
Right. I think it's like number 1 versus number 2. I mean, that would only make sense, right? It wouldn't make sense to do number 1 versus number 1. And like we said, Last Dance and like we said, Last Dance and Free are both number 1. So I feel like Joe would probably be playing, assuming they won here, because we never. I mean, Favelas ended up beating Beast Coast on Coastline. That's what's coming up after this map. So depending on who wins here today, it's probably gonna be playing the loser of PogChamp Polaris.
Probably, I think, yeah, that sounds very good. But either way, so far in the map, Joe looking very well on Consulate. You've seen them play. We saw if you look at some of the old maps and the old like wins, you've seen Favelas play win on Coastline though, so that's probably why they picked it, because they've won this map before. But by seeing how aggressive Joe's been and how the Favelas haven't been able to deal with that aggression on Consulate, I wonder how that aggression is going to play on Coastline, which Coastline is a very aggressive map in itself.
I mean, Joe's just winning the aggression game. We saw, I think, last round, Prophecy literally emptied all 31 bullets in his R4C while swinging into the Vista Stairs window in the first minute. If that isn't the definition of aggression, and I don't care, I'm going to kill you, I don't know what is. You know, that's just, that's like the type of gameplay that's disgusting on Coastline. And I don't know. I mean, we didn't see it. We didn't see what DS Lucas did to drop the 4.0 KD, the nuke that he got against Beast Coast in the last play day, but you definitely can't overlook Favela's ability to probably, like I said, I mean, Lucas
I
goes
wish I
full.
could have seen the actual stats before we went to the recoast. Oh well.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I don't want to say we're going straight to Coastline, but I mean, you plant 6 times in 6 rounds. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, that's like every single round they really get in within the first, like they took a bit of time, of course, each round, maybe dealing with utility, opening up walls, do what they need to do to prep for the round. But every time they got into the site, they able to get the plant down by virtue of just being able to deal with the defenders or being able to just like distract them and then deal with the defenders. We saw that on Cafeteria Garage. They open the wall up, they walk in the site, they take fights. Even the second round they did Cafeteria Garage and they didn't get those first picks. It took a bit of time, but they were able to get the plant down. And they weren't able to deny the plant either.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, they're definitely not able to deny the plant. He's plant 6 times. I mean, that's just like,
yeah.
Clicks literally spent the whole half just typing on his little laptop. And we are going to be going back into the match now. It is 6-0 for Joe.
Yep.
Will this rehost potentially change the momentum completely? Will it? It has in the past. It has in many other games. I don't know why Joe would ice themselves. Frosty lagged out. So, you know what's funny? I think I've seen this before, Joe, where they were actually winning. They were dominating. And then a rehost happened that was out of their control. And they ended up actually they ended up really choking on their dinner and losing the game. It was like a bank game. I remember that vividly. It was like from qualifiers forever ago.
Qualifiers forever ago. Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, they just had a rehost and lost. But this is obviously a different Joe. And
so let's see how they do here. We'll go back to Archives and Tellers for the first attack here from the Favelas. So we've seen, of course, Joe play this twice so far. And so far, in both rounds of them winning it, they try to bait the plant and then they take control of downstairs. The first time, actually both times, it still became like just an outright duel between each players. It became a 2v1 in the end, which was funny that both rounds ended up like that.
Yeah, and it was always Lucas too, and he was like, you know, that hello darkness, my old friend. 1v2 with the thickest operator on defense, Cade, just clunking around.
Exactly.
It's a guy 3 floors up. I mean, that's just rough. But no Cade for Joe, and we do see a lot more cameras. I mean, the Valkyrie. I'm surprised we didn't see Favelas really bring Valkyrie. They did bring it.
I think he brought it a couple times.
It must have not been impactful.
Yeah,
Valkyrie in the 6 plants, but yeah, it's like Joe's bringing it for this side. I think that's the unique one, and it's definitely going to make a difference. I feel like with no IQ, one of those cams is going to probably be able to survive for the late round for the pingy pings, and it's going to potentially make a difference here for Joe. Potentially,
I can definitely tell the Favelas they ban Jaeger, so they're bringing, of course, the Ying is available for them bringing. You know, of course, since there's no Jaeger, they have less issues to deal with when it comes to denial of projectiles. So that's why the Ying is pretty powerful here. And of course, not that it's pretty much the same line we've seen from Joe as well, having, the Therm, having Nomad, the Zofia, and the Sledge.
Yeah, bringing the Thermite first, but not going to be clearing from that garage side, which is likely reinforced. They're just going to be clearing from admin, top down, which is a way to do it. But I think we've seen more adept Consulate teams definitely put some emphasis on clearing out the basement. We saw Joe do it earlier, honestly, to an extent. I mean, Joe just did it in a kind of the most Joe way possible, kind of walking down the Vista stairs. But I mean, Favelas is going to be clearing top down, and again, their ultimate end goal is to deal with the intel players in the basement that are going to deny you from planning in that Vista office.
Yeah, I'm assuming they're taking upstairs control just like we saw from Joe, so they can have those holes for later on when they go for the plant. But that's assuming they get the plant down in the first place here inside the Beast office. It's Beastly who's going to be first up. There's also quite a few cams in this Beast office too. You saw at least 3 cams. You saw that you saw one right there is the bulletproof cam. And I think there's 2 black guys as well. 1 black guy upstairs and admin. And so there's the cam downstairs. Oh, there's why 1 player spotted out. Beastly, who was playing by the vending machine, now has to go downstairs because he's spotted by Jolton, who's now pushing down those stairs.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well call that site Hollywood. There's so many cameras in there. Is this going to be a C4K for Mr. Wimp? Probably. No, the thermite runs the other way. Carnage be lit up but not killed. Misread by Wimpy, and rethinking looking to push up the stairs. Likely, potentially nomaded by Embedai. But, I mean, Joe's still holding firm at that, C4 strategy, even though they're down a C4 now. I think the Pulse is going to be able to actually, focus more on, actually pulsing up instead of, thinking about throwing a C4. So, I guess that's not all, a total loss for Wimpy to have thrown a C4 there and not gotten the kill.
Yeah, so there's only 2 C4s left. So both rethinking and clicks are kind of important now for this. If they go for this plant inside of Visa office, I don't know if they can do that or if they try to push site. They seem to be flashing Visa site very oftenly. There goes a Ying as well. There goes the Candelas are now pinging it. 1 going down spiral stairs. Looks like it's going to be Abonai on the Nomad. Looking for a kill, but this is a crossfire from 2 ways. The person from the right pushes forward, gets the first kill. Thumbus refragging Beastly though. And Thumbus gets another on to be thinking as well. Jolton gets Prophecy from above, and now we're down to a 2v4. Now I said that 1v4 actually. Clicks gets killed by Thumbus. Actually, it's a trade between the 2 of those. 1v3 actually. Wimpy gets 1 on DS. Now it's a 1v2 post plant. This is now a very much deja vu.
Yeah, this seems to happen a lot, doesn't it? UMP, the worst gun in the game, versus Carnage being Jolton. And yeah, both those guns, those are honestly both attacker UMPs. They're both slow firing, but they have better scopes. Orange just gonna snipe this guy through the. I mean, he actually hit there. Interesting. Near miss from Wimpy, but Joe, it looked like they just kind of fell apart at the seams off screen. A lot of people dying from the spiral push, especially from Thumbus.
Yeah, there was spiral push and then there was upstairs control as well. So there's both there's holes from above they're using against them as they flash them. It seems the flashes didn't work through those bars, so they're trying to look up, trying to throw C4s, but they can't look up because they're being flashed. Yeah,
I mean, I was gonna say one of the good uses of Ying there, people don't really know about it, is fuse the floor, right? You kind of unscrew it and stick it in a floorboard. I feel like that would actually be an interesting way to kind of deny the C4 on this site. I'm not sure if that's what Jolton actually did, so maybe I'm giving him too much credit. But maybe he unplugged the Ying, cooked it, and then just stuck on the floor while that all happened, and it just threw Joe for a loop.
And defuse bombs.
If so, I mean, it's genius from Jolton. It's genius. Literal, 5 trillion IQ.
Yeah, that was. I'm assuming because I heard him throwing those Candelas into Visa. I don't know if he threw it on the floor, but even just the fact of him throwing it into Visa, there's so many holes in the Visa office that it's gonna fall to the floor anyway. And some of those flashes are also gonna blind the ones who are looking back up, trying to deal with the attackers inside the Visa office. So either way, it works out, even if he didn't intend it that way for Jolton. But now we'll go to lobby and press or lobby and piano. This is the first time we'll see them play. So you've seen Joe take the site last time. First time they were able to just walk on site because nobody was playing upstairs, and the guys they were looking to do a C4 strat where they play downstairs and throw C4s above, but instead they plant in a very odd corner of that circle desk, the top floor corner where nobody can really see you, and they're able to get the plant down, causing it to be pretty much a retake from Favelas, which didn't work out in the favor. Now we'll see. I think the second time was they tried to play from upstairs, but they just let them take it.
Wow, someone almost had their career ended through that window. Clicks. He's literally proning to finish these shotgun holes because of the ingenious spam from Jolton. He knows this map. He knows the map. And Wimpy, again, an opening pick. Curiously enough, how did he die like that on Maestro and Visa?
I'm guessing he was playing aggressive. Oh no, he's playing inside of the hallway. Yeah, he was peeking.
That's kind of the position that Wimpy took when he was a nomad on attack. He kind of pushed down that hallway, and I guess Wimpy's kind of privy to that play of taking the Visa hallway, and in this case, being privy to it gets you killed because he's Abonai's already 10 steps ahead. Of course, Abonai, that's the same Abonai that qualified for Pro League under United, as he's dead to Beastly. And Beastly finds part 2. Beastly on the top. This is a strange one. I'm not sure if the wall actually opened before the attackers pushed up there. That's a huge mistake from those two especially veteran players. I'm not sure if I don't know. Did the wall just get smoked?
did he throw it through the open wall, or how do you get the C4 onto Karn?
I have no idea. It's entirely possible, Karn. Now that the wall is open and the guy just peeked in.
I'm assuming he shot Abner when he walked up these stairs. But either way, great kills here from Beastly. We'll see now the rest of Favelas trying to take a shot upstairs. You see, of course, they open the wall, and there's one player up there. I think it's DS right now upstairs by himself. One on the balcony as well with him. So looks like that's gonna be a drop from Beastly to get out of projector and leave it to prophecy and rethinking to try and hold on to as long as possible at least.
I mean, given the man advantage, I mean, Favelas doesn't have enough people to really effectively hold all the angles they need to hold. And honestly, if I'm Joe, I wouldn't even trip on it. I kind of wouldn't allow myself to get picked here, because kind of how Joe attacked it before, where they had enough people to hold on the angles, Visa upstairs, the front door, and have someone to plant. I don't know if the math is adding up for Favelas to be able to do that, even if as Yin goes off. This is the worst case scenario if Frosty's taken out.
Oh, actually downs him.
He's blind and he wins the
he's
fight, but
blind. He gets killed straight up by DS. He at least gets down Jolton, but Rethinking had already left for day, so he can't even support him on that endeavor.
Yeah, so it's just it's even man count, but given the health and given the fact that Clicks likely has enough, 2 smokes with 20 seconds. This is all but lost for Favelas unless they can find some cheeky picks. I mean, Beastly's actually sitting in the closet, I believe, in the lobby.
This is 15 seconds.
There's no way they have any idea he's there. That's gonna be a position.
Oh, Candel's coming down, drop from Jolton. Looks like he's trying to play it in the corner that you saw last time here from Joe. A good kill. He tries to go for the kill, but he loses that fight. DS killing Beastly. We're thinking with 2, and Clicks will finish off DS, and Joe Esports will win that 7-1 here on Consulate. That was a close round, but great work from Clicks to get 2 kills and deny the plant whatsoever.
Yeah, just a really solid support game from Clicks and Joe in general. I mean, Favelas narrowly avoided the 7-0 with the win in Archives, but all in all, just a dominant performance from Joseph Esports. And now we're going to be going to Favelas map pick of Coastline.
Yep. This is a quick break though. So guys, we were back here with our lovely faces. We're going to a quick break, I guess, for about 10 minutes. So I probably sure it's gonna get cut because this is a video, but this is gonna be a quick break while do the players get a break or no?
Yeah, they get the players get a break, man.
Yeah, so they get a 5-minute break, guys. So we'll be back in a little bit with our next map of Coastline. The Favelas map pick. Joe will be on attack first because they picked the side, and everyone's usually want to pick attack on Coastline because Coastline's usually attack side map. Usually, especially when you're Joe and you plan every round. It's a little bit attack side, but this is Favelas map, so hopefully they bring out anything can happen. So let's see what interesting happens next. But guys, we'll be back in a little bit. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody, to our USCL, or United States Challenger League, Day 3 between Joe Esports and the Favelas. If you guys weren't here for the first map, which I'm assuming you were because it's a video, but assuming you were here for the first map, it was a very, very one-sided affair for Joe Esports against the Favelas at Consulate. They were 7-1. The Joe Esports take that strikingly dominating win. Now we go to our second map, which is Favelas map pick, which is Coastline.
And this is the map that Mr. Diaz Lucas went crazy against Beast Coast on a couple plays ago. So he's going to have to bring that magic out again here if his team wants a chance, because, I mean, yeah, that last map looked really lopsided, but of course that was Joe's map. This is now Favelas map. This is their domain. This is their home field. This is their home turf. And yeah, hopefully it's a lot better.
It did seem like maybe it was a bit just, main issue with new players. Because again, Abonai and Karn being the new players here on the Favelas, it did seem like maybe they were a bit unprepared, maybe didn't have enough time to really prep strategies, really mesh together as a team. See how do on Coastline, maybe Consulate just not their map, because especially new teams and new players, sometimes their map pool can be a bit smaller. So we'll see how they do on Coastline here. We'll have Joe Esports on attack because they pick the side, and they're obviously going to pick attack first. And we have the Favelas on defense. Let's start with bands first.
Yep, and we are going to be seeing probably some type, like a nomad or a gridlock. I mean, that's usually what you expect. But I mean, I expected that last game, and I was sorely mistaken. So let's see. Are we gonna get this? Yeah, oh, Ying. Even though they were the ones playing Ying before, that's peculiar.
That's an interesting one.
And I mean, Jolton thinks he's attacking, but I could have sworn. Yeah,
he says no way.
I'm like, I could have sworn Joe was attacking all three maps. Jolton corrected himself, and
so Ying banned first. It's kind of weird. I guess there's definitely a lot more cramped spaces. Nomad being next makes sense for a lot of maps because all these smaller hallways, smaller entryways makes Nomad very powerful. So say it's gridlock. Ying, I guess, can be powerful, but we haven't seen Joe play Ying.
I mean, yeah, the one who had success with Ying was Favelas last map. That was the only map, or rather the round they won was, honestly, I would say probably on the backs of some Yingalings going off. And we're seeing the Mira coming out from Joe. I mean, there can be some pretty cerebral Mira setups for Coastline, but nothing that would like blow your mind because there's a lot of breachable floors where the mirrors are and stuff, and there's ways to get around the mirrors. There's Habana, which isn't banned. We sometimes see Habana banned on Coastline, but that's not the case. So Mira shouldn't be a problem, but it's banned anyway. And Valkyrie, of course, this map is literally the jungle. This is where people come swinging off trees like monkeys.
Yeah.
So
there's so many places
Valkyrie,
for guys, especially now those just because of course Echo right now is quarantined. He is soft banned. He's not played because of the issues or his glitches right now. So now that Valkyrie is unavailable too, IQ isn't nearly as needed. She can be just persuade not really played as much. So we'll see exactly how Joe plays out. We'll start with that first defense. Hookah and billiards as per usual.
I mean, of course, you want to play IQ for the G8.
I guess
but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case here. I mean, we're going to be seeing the Leon from Clicks, which is probably going to help him plant even more because if Lion has a use, or I mean, honestly, wow, the Lion Jackal combo is going to be.
Yeah, this Coastline makes sense actually. You see Lion because ever since it's nerfed, you don't see Lion nearly as much as you used to because it's not nearly as powerful. Coastline being the one map I probably see Lion more than anything.
I mean, it's like that, and it's like you combine that with a Lion. The one thing that makes Lion like kind of how he used to be is the Lion Jackal combo. You track that guy and time the Lion with it. He is literally a live ping, and he is dead under 99% of circumstances. So Favelas gonna have to play tight together on the roam, or they're gonna be absolutely slaughtered if they're playing solo. And I mean, we saw a lot of solo roaming from DS, especially on the Consulate. I mean, hoping he has a partner too.
Yeah, because Karn last time you saw Karn on the he was on the castle last time they played that downstairs site. He was also by himself in bathroom. So we have seen these solo roams from the side of Favelas right now. Thumbus already by himself already too. He's running out for a play. He will get spotted by a drone and have to pull back into Sunrise Bar. Looks like that aggressive play will net him no kills.
And Thumbus absolutely smoked that drone. Absolutely gunned that drone. And now it looks like Joe, I mean, kind of thinking about what they want to do here. They've got drones below, but there's not actually just one C4 on Jolton. So if there's going to be a C4, it's going to be just one C4 operator. But Joe's going to be going for the below clear anyway. I mean, I remember very vividly they were clearing from below before last season. And I remember Ollie, when Ollie was still on Joe, he was like, remember when he was throwing the hammer up
Yeah, he's on
like,
top of the barn, blue on top of the barn, sunrise, hitting his hammer on the floor, trying to find somebody inside a hookah or billiards. I would don't expect so exactly. I know. I guess again, last time, like I remember before when they played on side of Cafe, and they didn't bring Buck for a push onto Cocktail on Cafe. So it's almost kind of reminiscent of that, where they kind of want someone to Buck from below, but they need the grenades, so they're not going to bring a Buck.
Yeah, I kind of talked about it. Oh, there we go. His hammer is being slung at the floor. The infamous hammer to the floor strat from Joe. I love that they're doing it again. But yeah, this is with the Lion Jackal, it's gonna be a full send onto these players, especially on the vase here. So, Joe, it's like they don't have the buck, so it's like they're not gonna be able to buck out the player behind the half bar there, Carnage B. So he's gonna be able to play there and smoke the doorway through the holes, but. Look at this. The hammer through the floor and the Lion going off, and no push just yet.
Yeah. It's the first E1D to go off. First E1D that goes off, it does marks people. It doesn't really do much. There's no real push here to deal with any roamers either from them. Jolton gets the first kill on the Prophecy as they're playing on that hookah balcony, and they're just kind of taking fights. It doesn't seem like Joe Esports even wants to go for a real clear.
Yeah, this isn't really... Because it's like I said, there's no buck. You're not going to be able to move Karn much. You're only going to be able to pretty much clear behind that B-bomb, but... A lot of the defenders for Favelas are playing into the hallway on the concrete floor, which you can't get from below. When the nades from Rethinking aren't necessarily being used on that drone hole on the roof or anything, so they're allowed to just kind of sit in place, shelter in place. Hashtag wear your mask. And
yeah,
Joe's gonna have to make some miracle plays here. Push through Legions up Cool Vibe stairs. They're gonna have to win some gunfights they shouldn't be winning. Basically.
Yeah, both E1Ds went off, and they've got nothing from the E1Ds. There's one left here for Clicks to make a push. Hits that Legion mine, hits that Goo mine, and causes them to back off as the player on that stairs will be aggressive instead in turn. And at this point, still with 22 seconds left to go, there's nothing really to see for it. First kill, another kill for Abonai, second kill of the round for the attacker or the defenders. Jolton gets one more. Clicks though, let's trade onto Thumbus though. So now it's kind of going back and forth, but still looking bad here for Joe Esports. It's now this Favelas. They'll finish him off as Jolton gets one of Rethinking. Beastly gets one of Karn, but immediately betrayed by Abonai, and the Favelas take the first round here on Coastline.
Yeah, that's just really clean. And honestly, kind of a little underuse of the Lion Jackal combo. You saw Lucas. I kind of called it. He was going to be solo roaming by himself with no real partner. He's over in theater by himself. That was kind of the perfect opportunity for like a split theater 90 type push, and combine that with the pressure from hookah. It's just Joe's just kind of walking through a doorway and throwing the classic, throw the hammer up at the floor. But they didn't really take advantage of what they had operator wise, I don't feel like. And that's the first round for Favelas on their map.
Yeah, that was a pretty good run, but I think it's like that was pretty good from the side of Favelas, but obviously I agree with you where it just seems like Joe didn't really have a real plan there. I know it's Coastline and it shouldn't be that much difficult to take these fights, but it didn't seem like Joe didn't want to go through the effort of clearing out or going for different strat. They just kind of sat outside of, they kind of took control of Sunrise and they sat outside of hookah, and they kind of expected maybe to try and take fights and win those fights, but that's all they really did.
They kind of expected Favelas to peek and die. And they aren't gonna do that. They're not that dumb, obviously. So we're going to the kitchen now, and Abonai's got some holes here on that kitchen wall to, you can basically watch that from luggage or the black tile, and we're gonna be seeing kind of a similar operator lineup from the Favelas. Vigil, Mozzie, and Jolt. Well, Jolton actually swapped with Thumbus. Jolton actually had, I'm not sure how many kills he had. 2 or 3 kills on Mozzie last round. Looks like he's gonna pass it off to Thumbus, and curious to see how they're gonna play this roam. Like I said, it's Lion Jackal, so you gotta trade off of each other to have a chance against that combination of roaming.
Of course, the Vigil and the Mozzie and the boy, they can try and bait out and really deal with the information from the attackers, make sure they can't drone them out as effectively. But with either E1D and the the Jackal eye tracker, they can at least have another avenue of information for them. As Abra gets the first kill on the Prophecy, not exactly what that was from. Looks like he might have shot him from the kitchen window from lobby, maybe.
I have no idea, but the last time I saw Prophecy on the screen, he had a red dot and a silencer. Maybe he'll reconsider that combination in his next life as on Ash. And Clicks, I don't know what the heck happened to Clicks, because we saw Clicks clearly got spawn peaked or something. He's already down to like 15 HP here. Basically a dead man walking here, and Favelas definitely showing a lot more grip on the situation than they were on Consulate. But it looks like Joe's not going to clear above at all. They're just going to opt to kind of fly through the window and fly through the kitchen door with only the smokes on Jackal to kind of mask the push. But, I mean, I wonder where the Maestro cams are for Favelas. That'll pretty much shut that down. Used appropriately.
Yeah, it looks like they're looking around. It still seems like Joe are trying to probe for another strike because again, now they have disadvantage with the man down. They're trying to find maybe a kill before they make this push. And there's the kill, looking for Whippy to take out Jolton. Now a 4v4. He's gonna push through and break off. So you can see him get rid of that evil eye on the wall. But it looks like those impacts from the lifeline will not be able to destroy that one. Well, a good shot though here from Kari to finish off Wimpy Kid. Good ray trade. Walking through, but Thumbus to get one of the clicks. Basically takes out Abonai though. And there's one player actually on site now. Rethink has made his way on site, but above DS Lucas because every room cleared, so DS Lucas for both gets killed. Rethink it's now just BC on site. Trying to find one. He will find one. Be Kari now 1v2. Both Thumbus and DS are off site.
Yeah, if anyone can do this, it's the Bex dog with the Jackal. He should be, I mean, those footprints are probably long expired, but there's potentially that Maestro cam. We saw Wimpy actually didn't kill that earlier. He missed the impact, so they're going to know that Beastly's planning here, and they should be able to play this 2v1 crisply, but Beastly, he's got 50, like, bullet. He's only got 20 bullets in the mag right now, and he's got to fight too. He didn't reload and didn't hit his shots anyway, and it's going to be Thumbus B, named after his friend Carnage B. Ex-teammates from Disrupt Gaming, the Challenge League team a couple seasons ago. And yeah, they're gonna clutch that one up with the Maestro cam. Like I said, Wimpy kind of missed the impact there on that Maestro, and it ended up. I mean, that was just a live ping on Beastly there at the end. 3 different players scanning him.
Yeah,
pretty hard to win.
It's overall, I think just Joyce doesn't want to roam clear though. Like they pretty much just forced the way onto site, even though there was vertical play there from DS. You see on DS above inside of VIP, just watching people watching it into kitchen. Of course, you can get the second kill onto Beastly as he walks in the site, but you get the first kill on Rethinking.
I mean, it's just curious. They keep bringing this lineup, and then they don't roam clear like at all. They're so direct. They're so direct onto the site, like 2 rounds in a row now. And they're going to be bringing the Count Lion Jackal again. And I mean, I'm sure Lucas is going to be solo roaming again. I mean, even though Vigil has been changed now to where he can kind of dodge the Lion pings, can't dodge a Jackal ping. So I would. If I'm Joe, I'm kind of drawing Lucas as like the, especially since he did so well on this map before. I'm like, it's like I'm drawing a target on his back, and I'm getting rid of him at least, and I'm getting some map control with these operators that I have, but they're just not necessarily doing that so far. And we're going to blue bar, and it looks like Abonai is going to be mute jamming off that office power position behind that little big. What is? I don't even know what that is. It's like a chimney or something in the middle of the office.
With the office? Oh, you're talking about that?
I don't. What is that? It's just a big thing in the middle of the room.
I think it's just the wall at that point. I think it's anything specific.
10 seconds.
But yeah, I mean, they're gonna be honestly. Well, what is this? And this car's gonna be setting up in hookah with the shield to protect him from the rappel.
ADS there as well. So there's a lot of utility being brought upstairs in hookah, which makes sense though, because a lot of teams will take control of hookah and then just deny anybody playing inside of Sunrise Bar, so they can go for plant, in that corner by the couch.
Yeah. I mean, the question is Joe actually going to push that? And honestly, this looks like they're just going to push in the kitchen where, guess who? It's Mr. Lucas. I'm not sure if he's by himself or if he's got a teammate covering his back. But the block's about to get hot for Mr. Diaz here. Well, Lion and Jackal pings are going to come out any moment. Player holding the lobby door gets Beastly, just gets sent to cams. Lucas getting away with half his health, and he's not going to get traded. He's just going to be able to get away, and that's huge. Jackal off the board.
Yeah, he just walks through lobby, takes out Beastly, walks through security, and keeps moving. So at least at this point, they have technically cleared out kitchen though. With that happening, even it was definitely not good for Joey Sports to lose a man so early. But they can now take control of kitchen and push farther in. But this plays upstairs, plays on Kubai, plays at Hookah, who can now deny them pushing from kitchen into Sunrise.
And Joe again being really direct here. That there's going to be a cross on Cool Vibes. So how's Joe going to deal with it? Are they just going to try to run past it? I mean, if anyone can just walk up and take that fight, it's probably going to be Wimpy. But you kind of expect there to be more from Joe. Wow, I mean, look at that cross from Luggage as well. It's going to get rough. I mean, and he's dead.
Yeah,
it was only a matter of time. Oh, he's just in that spot. And
yeah, you had Thumbus on Luggage. You had Abonai here at Kuvi's. Prophecy, though, upstairs. Well, upstairs. It's down upstairs to walk at the DS. Well, great grenade from Rethinking. It's Abonai and a trade right there. So now it's a 3v3. It's all evened up for both teams.
Prophecy, it looks like he took the red dot silencer off. He's not playing any games anymore. Lion kind of pings a player, but no one in position to actually act off of the Lion. And Favelas, they're sitting pretty here, but Thumbus actually finds Rethinking on the flank, and now it's just Clicks and Prophecy, and they're both split up from each other, though. Last time we saw Prophecy, he was in office, and he could potentially lurk through and hit it from the... Nope, he's dead. He got snuffed out by Carnage B, and now it's just Clicks, ironically, smoked out by Karn. And Favelas, I mean, is this going to be a reverse 7-1s?
It could be. This could be where, of course, seems like each team has their, their strong suits, and Joe showed their strong suit in Consulate, and now we see the Favelas showing their strong suit here on Coastline. We'll see what happens, though. Usually we expect Coastline to be more attack excited, but as time's gone by, the comps change, metas change, and now it seems like Coastline is kind of evening it out. But it depends on what map you're talking about. Because statistics are always weird, because you only have tons of teams you're talking about, too, because teams play differently on Coastline. So like here we see Joe, they keep with the same lineup, and they play the same way without really clearing anything. They just keep playing the same exact way.
It looks like Clicks has said, I've had enough. I'm going to not play Lion. I'm going to Doke, which is good. I mean, Dokkaebi can shut off the cameras in those key moments when you're trying to plan. Especially when you're the planner, it's a good idea to kind of be the Dokkaebi so you can kind of call for your own plants. But, I mean, Joe has to get to that point first. I mean, they're struggling with roam clearing and just dealing with the roamers in general.
Struggling isn't, that's more like not attempting and trying to deal with them reactively rather than proactively.
Yeah,
like so far, they just kind of hope that the roamers will come to them and they'll win those fights, which is very odd here from Joe.
Yeah, I mean, Joe's just kind of expecting Favelas to peak. I mean, literally expecting them to just run up and die, run up in their ACOGs and die, which, I mean, to be honest, Lucas kind of did that the last round. I mean, he literally swung on the Lamborghini doorway, but he hit the fadeaway on Beastly and then just ran off like Little Red Robin Hood down the security hallway. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, Joe's just gotta, they've got to bring that same energy they bring in Consulate. I mean, where we saw Prophecy swinging in on, emptying his mag and then swinging in with an empty mag. Like, where's that energy on this map? This is like the map to do it on, you would think.
Yeah, so last time they tried to take this site, we're going back. So we've had now 3 sites so far. 3 sites have gone by. Favelas have won each of those sites, so now they can retry those 3 sites. As usually, it does take 2 rounds for a site to reopen after you win it. So now we're going to see Joe Esports once again try and take control of, win it out here at Hookah and Billiards. And I wonder if this time if Joe going to try and roam clear, or they're just going to go downstairs and just try to open from below.
I mean, that's a very adventurous nade from Rethinking. Just kind of yeeted up and expecting to be standing on the double door after it got opened. And honestly, the way Lucas is playing it, not even a bad grenade, to be honest. And they're kind of going for the below clear again, not clearing out theater and not bringing a buck either. So they're just going to be sledging the floor in the spots where they can vault up and sledge the floor, but they're not going to have the buck to move Carnage B from the spot he's currently playing. And they're not really going to be able to move anyone from pool table area either. But Wimpy finds Abonai through the hookah window. And, so far, in that regard, that plan is working. Kind of get the Favelas to peak and be exposed.
Yeah, it's 1 member down out of 4. I don't know if the rest of the members here for Favelas are going to peek into their sight lines, because it looks like this Favelas is just waiting for him to walk through, and Joe is trying to find any kind of angle. It looks like a grenade comes, bops through, but doesn't take any. Does do the damage to Jolt and Thumbus, but it's not going to kill here for Joe. At this point, it's just same old waiting here for the Favelas. Downstairs now, they have control of Sunrise Bar. You see below, looks like that is a sledge of Rethinking, who's going to get to work and start sledging the floor.
And he's going to throw the hammer up again, and we see some big window pressure from Wimpy. And since they cleared below, for the most part, he should be able to get away with that. I think it just walks up cool vibes, and he's followed by Beastly and Props. He's also found his way into the site. Wimpy on the big window, finding Carnage B, and finally Joe, the hookah push works for them this time.
It's almost, yeah, I guess at this point they kind of baited them into thinking they're going to do the same strat, and then they just walk up Cool Vibe stairs for free. Nobody's watching Cool Vibe stairs. I think that at that point, Ash of Prophecy walks through hookah door. I don't know where exactly the focus of Favelas went to, but all of a sudden they just kind of lost control of those really major spots.
Yeah, I think it kind of started with Cool Vibes. Rethinking literally just, I thought that was the smoke. for a second, but it was literally rethinking attacking with the SMG-11 out. He had the MAC-11 out. He's just spraying down the block. He's just up the stairs. I don't know. We saw like when Clicks tried to do that the last time they attacked that site, they hit some Legion mines. I guess Legion mines weren't there that round. So back to kitchen we go.
Yeah. So we're gonna keep on that rotate. It's the first round here for Exact for Esports. So the first attacking win. They're able to get those kills and make it work for them, even though it was kind of odd in a sense. It still worked out because they were able to just throw them for a loop, and they did not expect that here from Favelas. So let's see if they do this kitchen round. Last time they went for this push, again they didn't roam clear. So they allowed 4 players just to, they went to walk through pitch window. People upstairs like DS Lucas playing vertically, able to deny part of that push. It became a 2v1 post plant, but of course, hadn't destroyed some of his cameras, so they all knew where exactly Beastly was in that 2v1 post plant.
Yeah, so I mean, look for Wimpy to kind of actually, you know, hit the dang bubbles with his RPG launchers, Ophia, and Thumbus again smokes the drone, absolutely guns the drone. The Thumbus load. I mean, that's, I'm kind of memeing there, but that's actually really good from Thumbus to prioritize the intel game, especially when Joe is hesitant to roam clear. They're even more hesitant now if they were before because they're down a drone. So, and it looks like, yeah, they're just not going to clear top down again. They're just going to go strictly first floor on the kitchen site.
Yeah, it seems like they're joining out a small office, joining out that blue bar, make sure there's nobody there for the moment, and trying to push their way into blue bar, maybe try to get an angle to sunrise a blue bar into kitchen. Last time they walked through the kitchen window as well, and they just kind of made their way out the site. There's no, I see, there's nothing really to help them really push through besides smoke, so just kind of walk the door and, you know, sacrificing bodies.
I mean, I will say the difference here for Joe. Clicks can call and shut off the Maestro cams, and they have an extra set of smokes now as well. So it's like, this could be a full send from Joe through that door, and it might actually work this time. Unless I'm crazy and Dokkaebi lost her smokes. Did she?
I don't know if Clicks brought smokes. No, Clicks has smokes with him. Oh, it flashes actually. So, oh no, does I don't think, yeah, does Dokkaebi still have smokes? Or Dokkaebi has frags and flashes?
Am I losing my mind? Because I must be becoming. I think
old. You're thinking of if Beastly brought smokes on Jackal.
Yeah, I knew Beastly, he brought the smokes before, but Click switching to the Doke, I would. Oh, good night.
Yikes, Whippy. Yeah, Karn playing a pretty important operator there on smoke. He peeks out. I think it's one tap by Wimpy, so there goes any canisters to deny a push from that west side.
Yeah, Dokkaebi definitely still has smoke, so he's just bringing flashes on Doke. I mean, okay.
But Jolton gets a kill. Wimpy in a trade. So it looks like he tried. Looks at that point. Wimpy tried to push through down into lobby from the west side and loses fight there. And there's one person rethinking, watching for maybe a VIP, so they can't So it looks like they're trying to deny because DS last time did try to push this, and there it is, DS right there taking the kill and rethinking. So he can't actually play that vertical play from upstairs and VIP, open up the floor and deny a push to kitchen window. Clicks is just gonna run through and go for a plant.
Yeah, Clicks is he's typing on the diffuser. It's what he's best at. And Prophecy just pushing down the hallway. The great smokes, the CSGO smokes from Beastly, and Beastly finds Abonai, and Prophecy's in sight. He has full control. And where's Lucas? Once again, kind of off site, and Thumbus looking for an answer here, but they've got to make something happen quickly here with the quarter of the timer already gone. Then they have no real idea. I mean, Lucas is still looking at Sunrise. He's not exactly sure where these attackers are at all. Beastly with the PDW holding the long angle, forcing them to kind of commando crawl. But Lucas just sends Beastly to the Shadow Realm. It's a 1-on-2 for Prophecy, and he's got to swing around this corner. Can he find the angles? The diffuser.
Oh, the counter diffuser. How did he protect him?
What is this?
What? Prophecy can't protect the counter diffuser. That was DS, and he gets a pistol one shot on the Thumbus to clutch the round. And Prophecy, man, he's able to clutch that round out for Joe Esports to make it 2-3.
Oh, that's the type of round that just breaks your back. It breaks your heart and soul. Thumbus, he unfortunately I don't know if it's just masterful movement from Prophecy to literally triangulate the angle that Prophecy was unable to, or rather the Legion of Thumbus was unable to find the shots onto him there. But like, how in the world did he not die swinging like that? That's just...
He runs to the door, dodges the angle that he had there. Thumbus had the angle to deny the push from doorway, and then gets the kill on the DS. He was countered. He was like half a second off too. I'm pretty sure he was like a second or half a second off from getting that plant.
I was like, yeah, he's gonna.
I think it was a second. It was like 1 second off getting the counter fuse.
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
Yeah, I'm gonna just walk in front of this Legion, and I'm gonna kill the guy. I mean, whatever. And Beastly, he's just better. I mean, what can we say? Prophecy's better. I mean, like I said, that guy is definitely an NAL candidate down the line. I wholeheartedly believe that one. And
yeah, I didn't expect him to win that fight too, because you saw them try to deal with people playing last time where they had that vertical pressure. You saw at least Rethinking try to go upstairs and deal with Diaz. Couldn't do it though, first of all. And then Whippy got traded out too when he tried to push down from west side into lobby. But because of the great smokes up forward, great smokes from Joe, deny the angle of lobby, and Prophecy just runs through that smoke too. And Beastly pushes from west side too, because they able to at least they didn't go through the kitchen window at all.
I mean, it's just Joe is so indirect. I mean, they literally had someone repel, like you said, some guy repelling on VIP. I think it's Rethinking, just no roam clear, and now we're gonna send it. And I mean, Prophecy. I mean, I think that was a 3-piece McNugget for him.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, that's just it's the direct style played right. That's for sure.
Yeah, the first 3 rounds weren't that great from Joe, but they seem to be catching on to how Favelas is doing the defenses and changing it, and just kind of baiting out Favelas to do certain things, allows them to play aggressive in the end.
Yeah, we already see a logic bomb being used by Clicks. Is he gonna bring the smoke? Is Click Smokes gonna bring the smokes? That's the big question here. Is Lucas missing the spam on Wimpy? They trade for each other. He's gonna run right into Prophecy, the crouch walk of the century. How do you anticipate that one? Thumbus trying to find the trade, that hatch unfortunately not opened. Disastrous, and Jolton's gonna find Beastly, the Mr. Smoke himself from last round, and Prophecy solo controls office here. It seems like the same type of push for Joe. One office, a couple kitchen, and then one. It's
even a lot faster though, because it seemed like DS didn't expect for Prophecy to already be inside of security though. That was pretty crazy.
I mean, I think it's because, I mean, you saw Thumbus was like shooting the hatch, like, well, this hatch isn't open. I mean, his Prophecy finds another from office. Abonai just all the way out in the middle of the room, and it's going to be man disadvantage for Favelas. And Jolton here on the Maestro offside as well. It's just going to be Karn kind of holding down the fort here as Thumbus is taken off site. I mean, so it's just Karn here to hold down this quad entrance, as the Maestro's going to have a heck of a time getting back to site. And now even Karn has left the site.
Oh yeah, on site. It's Prophecy again. He's already got 3 kills for the round. Jolton gets 2 for the round though as he finishes Clicks. And now that Diffuser is down, but there's still members upstairs that are trying to push, and he gets another kill. Jumping down, gets a kill to Wimpy. Another kill to Prophecy. That's 4 kills for Jolton. He's got to get ace to try and finish this off. There's one member left in the corner going for that plant. And the plant does go down. Looks like in favor. So now it's a 1v1. But Rethinking gets the kill on Jolton somehow, and Joe Esports will take that round by a sliver, by a skeet of their teeth.
Watch this. This is definitely a sliver. He just sees the he sees the pizza chef hat Maestro and just scalps it by a slither. And unfortunately, the ace denied from Jolton, or denied by Rethinking. And Joe is gonna take 3 after losing the first 3. That's a very, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, that was quite an adaptation from Joe. They play that very differently. Those second 3 rounds compared to the first 3 rounds. So I gotta give props to Joe for being able to adapt, understand, and play differently and allow themselves to win those rounds out. Even if it was a bit of a scrap, but a lot of them was very close though.
A lot of that was just Prophecy being ridiculous. I mean, he just walks in off, finds the guy, he's crabbing in the security hallway, finds Lucas rotating, and then just finds the kill on Abonai as well, and then he just takes control. He takes control of the situation. He reads it, and he takes control. And
I was talking about last time, because we talking about Consulate was just like the fact that the whole entire Consulate game, Joe had Favelas in their pace. They were dictating the pace of every single round, and it seems like this time Joe were able to. At the start they didn't have that pace. They were being dragged along by Favelas, but 3 rounds in they figured out and they start putting their own pace. They start taking control of Prophecy and himself. Just take control pacing wise and take control of the territory. You wouldn't expect them to have within a minute.
5 seconds.
I mean, they were just very passive. It's just uncharacteristically, like I said, Prophecy's literally mag dumping and swinging in with empty mags, and then he goes from that to being a wet noodle for the first 3 rounds of this series. He's running a red dot and a silencer, and then it's like those memes where the guy's like leaning back in the chair and he leans forward. That's pretty much what Prophecy's doing here. Is Wimpy just absolutely eviscerates Abonai through the office door, and not before he's traded out by Carnage B, who also took a little bit of damage there. Nice shot coming out from Abonai. That was indeed a scrumptious shot from Wimp. Wimpy Wimp. And
Yeah,
Prophecy, well, he's up to it again. It's gonna. I mean, you see Jolton, he actually brought IQ here. I mean, the Valkyrie's banned. Echo is.
But yeah, look how aggressive
perma-banned.
this is, though. You see all members of Joe off-site just playing aggressively, besides the smoke of Clicks, who's playing inside of purple or inside of pink.
I mean, Joe's, it's total philosophy switch from Joe. It's full aggression now. Was he droned? Yes, he was. The G8. Oh, that's not even a G8.
No, it's just the commando. It's
That's
the
not even a
commando
G8.
instead. And see, Prophecy did not expect that. He just does not react in time. Hasn't opened the window. But BC get a kill in the Karn as well, because Karn's downstairs, and BC again playing a good aggressive too.
I mean, Prophecy was definitely playing the RNG card of whether he got droned, and Jolton, unfortunately for Prophecy, Jolton checks his corners on the drone. He's got the drone skills. 99 overall droner. So yeah, it's a 3-on-3 here though.
Yeah,
Could go either way.
Minute 30. It's like all those aggression and all that plays were so fast too, because we're still gonna half the round left, and it's 3v3. No utilities in burn though, so I don't exactly know what utilities left here for the attack to make this play work. As I wonder where they're gonna push. They're gonna take Aqua and push into Billiards, or are they gonna go for hookah push, which we saw from Joe try to do both times.
Yeah, I mean, given that, I guess Buck just doesn't exist anymore. I mean, yeah, there's no frags, but it's like, I mean, has Thumbus thrown a grenade yet? I'm curious.
Thumbus gonna open the floor from below, like we saw from Joe.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's not like anybody's using the grenades in particular. I mean, he could have naded from below or something, but he's just, I don't know. But it's like, you're definitely not going to see the below plays working out here. As Lucas, I mean, the gun, the Ash is going to be going to try to attempt a bait plant here. But this isn't really a plant situation. This is a 3 speeds, go make it happen type situation.
Yeah, it looks like, so you have DS by himself here in Aqua. Jolton trying to make his way maybe to Kuba upstairs and push through, make a split push. They're pre-firing anybody person inside of Hookah, and there's push upstairs. Hook vibes. He has 6 shots and deals some damage Rethinking, but not enough to finish him off. And Rethinking is just trying to peek back and forth. More than anything, just waste time too, because only 20 seconds left here for the side of Favelas to make this happen. At this point, another try at the Kuba upstairs, and he'll finally get the kill on Rethinking as Rethinking tries to evade, and a kill though for clicks on a DS. So now it's just on Jolton in a 1v2.
He had a couple nice kills to start this round, but unfortunately it's just not enough. Beastly just anchoring down the side here at the end, and yeah, I mean, it was just so much blood and carnage early in that round, no pun intended, that it was like there really wasn't much like in the way that, like, I mean, yeah, Thumbus could have technically gone below or naded something, but it's like when it gets down to such low man count, I mean, it's kind of what Coastline's known for. It's just, we're going to frag out, and it's my gun versus your gun. And
yeah, there wasn't exactly a lot of utility left. Like, you had the grenades, like you said before. Like, if they could identify where some of these defenders were, maybe grenades from below, they had time to do it, but maybe they didn't want to. And I know Thumbus was I think he was peeking, trying to throw a grenade when he got killed too.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. I don't think he was going to be able to land like a nade from where he was anyway, so it's just like
Defenders.
There's also 2 Wamai still available too. Like the magnets could have also been placed to deny that too.
Maybe I'm gonna be a staunch defender of this forever, but I feel like if you're gonna go below like that, I mean, it might be worth just forgoing the nades. I mean, Buck is just, yeah, I said it once, I'm gonna say it again. It's the only op that can like shoot upwards and actually displace people. That's pretty powerful, and I don't know. I mean, I feel like the sledge in that situation, in that context, isn't really. I mean, unless you're throwing some BC nades, which neither team's been able to do so far. I'm sad that we're not seeing any more Buck. I'm really sad. It's causing serious sadness.
5 seconds to go.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of grenade kills this game either. So those grenades, even though they're being brought, aren't seem to be as helpful maybe as they once be. You of course can use the grenades to deny utility as well, but even then, like, you'd have to get rid of the magnets that could have been in Billiards as well. We didn't know where those magnets were. You'd have to use the flash grenades to deny them. Would be the first kill onto Joe. That's a good start, and it's like a start to start the round. That's not a good start for Favelas though.
And Jolton, I mean, he's honestly been the one who's put a jolt into his team for most of these rounds. And he's very much dead now, and Wimpy is ecstatic about that. And it's going to have to be a new hero for Favelas here, as they're going to be actually clearing top down, which is where they're actually going to be able to put the sledge to use, hopefully. Not much of a setup in the penthouse theater side of things for Joe. They're just kind of electing to play the lobby desk and to play the, I imagine, play Sunrise.
And yeah, this is more of a horizontal roam. Not much of a vertical roam here from
strictly
Joe.
First floor from Joe, so.
Oh, spots one on white stairs. So that means I wonder how they're going to deal with that vertical pressure when it gets applied to them. Because, of course, you can probably see Thumbus and Diaz and Abinai go to work and open up this floor. And whether or not they're going to go upstairs and deal with them, or if they're going to try just evade them, be displaced, or, you know, get displaced by the attackers and let it happen. Walking at white stairs, and the timing of the drone allows Abinai to really get a good shot on the Wimpy. And now it's even board here for both teams personnel-wise.
Yeah, some darn good drone. I don't know whose drone it was, but bravo. Because when you get someone to... When you're pushing off drones like that, it's really, really hard to deal with. That's some frustrating stuff. But Clicks reassuming the position here, and Prophecy playing his trade, they're going to have to go for some sort of closure here. I mean, their smokes are gone, so a service plant's going to be rather difficult. And Beastly here is going to potentially get a C4. C4 takes out Thumbus, and that's huge. I mean, that's all the vertical pressure now gone. He didn't necessarily make all the holes he wanted to make.
Oh, well, he does concuss security, but doesn't actually know that there's one player of Prophecy playing in the corner. I don't know if that concussion confirmed whether or not he was there. But the second one, I think he does, that automatically does tell him that was one player in security. Shots go on to Diaz as he walks into the bathroom. He doesn't know one's lying down inside the service. It's going to be Beastly going to kill. He gets refragged by Karn. Abinai to kill on a rethinking. It's going to be last one to be, it's Prophecy. Goes down to takes down Abinai. Now down to Karn, a 1v2.
Yeah, that's just very unfortunate timing for Abinai. And Karn, he's got like 1,000 different angles to worry about. Probably a Maestro Cam calling this plant. Both players from Joe seemingly aware of the plan for Karn, as he's just able to swing, and Clicks didn't actually commit to this. Clicks didn't actually commit to the crossfire, so but Karn doesn't actually know where Clicks is. I mean, Clicks actually played that so passively. Karn has no idea where he is, and it's actually torching a lot of time. This is winnable for Clicks because Karn has to make the play here, and Karn is louder than a freight train in the midnight. And yeah, it's gonna be easy free fire for Clicks if he's able to land one of those 81, and he does. Joe Esports 5 in a row now.
Joe Esports are on fire now. It was a bit of a skirmish there. You had kills going back and forth as they did roam clear, but unfortunately, due to losing some of those members early, they were almost hesitant on using that, that coverage. But of course, there's a pulse on the board, as you see sometimes a lot of times in Kitchen, and they didn't really think about the pulse being on the board. It allows them to kill Sledge, which was Thumbus, which is their main source of soft breaching.
And I mean, and Abinai, that was just almost great, almost. But he just caught sprinting there, and motion's probably running high. He thought he had a Twitter clip right there, and he went for the sprint. And unfortunately, it just I think that was kind of the tipping point. It was back and forth, and fortunately, that just didn't go in the way of Favelas. They're gonna lose their 5th round in a row. I mean, all the momentum has just completely been sucked out of their first 3 rounds.
Yeah, at this point, they're 5 rounds in a row. They've really taken the pace of this game, and they've made it theirs. Now we go to one of the more difficult bomb sites. Go to Blue Bar and Sunrise. Last time we saw them win this, it was very close. I suppose a sliver of a kill. The first time they played this, though, for Joe, they didn't roam through whatsoever, and they just were not able to take anything.
Literally, just no room clear. Just, I guess if you consider pushing the kitchen, a room clear, but.
Attackers have located the bomb.
Yeah, this is gonna be what looks to be an Alibi hold up here in Hookah. We got at least one. I'm saying it wrong on purpose, by the way. But at least one Alibi there in Hookah, and I imagine he's gonna no shield. Actually, I don't know exactly where Clicks put that shield. He may have put it office, but no shield for the Hookah repel or anything like that, like we saw from Favelas. And oh my, Prophecy. Oh, he's fishing.
He's fishing for something. Let's see if we can find one with that cheeky bullet hole, as he's going to be the first aggressor here, peeking through that Sunrise window. And we'll see exactly if the Favelas can roam clear correctly. What they're going to deal with first is last time we saw Joe, they were able to take control of security when they did win this round. They took security quick, which allowed them to really circumvent and deny really any of the people rotating through its office back into lobby, which is really big for Joe when they won this round. And I don't know whether or not we're going to see this from Favelas.
I do see Lucas trying to drone out security, like you said, but it's not nearly as interesting as the way Prophecy kind of just ran in there with the Ash. He caught someone, but they're going to be taking security, and they have pushed up pretty close in Kitchen already in the first minute, but Joe seemingly letting them do it, as we're thinking, actually, how in the world? Is it from the roof? Or are you thinking taking out luggage?
Yeah, he takes up rethinking who was playing inside of Aqua. So either from the roof, I'm assuming, or from below, maybe.
I couldn't tell you. I honestly couldn't tell you how he just died, but he's dead. Beastly kills DS we just saw in Office, and now Wimpy, we talked about earlier the crossfire from these cool vibe stairs. It's a tough one to win, and especially like I think Joe actually has a shield set up towards the kitchen door, so it's going to be even more, you know, spooky to kind of swing around the kitchen door and take out the player on cool vibes. So probably not going to happen. I mean, look at this angle from Clicks. This is just. I mean, he's actually exposed. That wall's actually soft,
Yeah,
and there's actually a
the wall's soft.
long angle from.
It gives him an angle into kitchen,
no.
but also exposes him to this hallway, which you have a player Abonai playing the angle. If he knows that there's a player playing at couches, he can deal with him and deal with that crossfire. Though, of course, Cool Vibes is an issue, and there's one behind the bar. It takes some heavy damage, but also gets peeked out by one player as well. And Courtyard goes down and finished off by Clicks. Karn takes one to Wimpy, though. It's going back and forth. 3v3 now with 52 seconds left to go. There's still time for the attack. But where they're going to come from is they're trying to figure out a foothold, but there's no real foothold here for the attack.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's the same theme as a lot of these rounds. It's just kind of coming down to the wire. It's going back and forth. Thumbus equalizes it in the Favelas' favor. Thumbus again with this third, and now it's just Beastly in a one-on. We've seen him do this before in the same position in Office. In a memorable 1vx from last season's Challenge League, but the Diffuser's gone down, and he's already taken a lot of damage, and he's only a 1 armor. He's got to find 3, and they've all got hard-hitting guns. Gonna need probably a shot or less to simply just eliminate him and force this to a 5-4, and that's exactly what we're gonna get. Yeah, just 1 tap from that C70, and that's just enough. Alibi taps out of the game, and it's 5-4. This is like we have ourselves a ball game.
Yeah, it's going back and forth. It looks pretty competitive for this map, but yeah, unfortunately, it seemed like that round. Of course, you saw Joe play very aggressively. They always do. They played a lot of roamers. You saw Rethinking die early as well. You saw, I think it was Prophecy as well. A couple of those roaming not do really well here. Is like getting killed left and right. So there's a lot of trades happening, but unfortunately, still not in the whereas there was a 3v3 at the end there, and somehow still they're able to walk into site, take those kills. Thumbus, I don't know where Thumbus came from actually. But really get into site and take 2 members on Sunrise.
Yeah, I don't know how he did it, but he done did it. Thumbus B. I love that he did that. Thumbus B.
I'm assuming he came from kitchen and they dealt with the person on Cool Vibes and then just walks on the site and deals with the person on the couch, deals with the person behind the bar, allowing them to take control of Sunrise as the person walks in mud and go for a play at that point. Yeah, that point Beast's gonna walk through and come from Office with an MX4.
Yeah, that's I mean, Beastly did it with the UMP before, but honestly, MX4 is not bad. It's not the. I don't like the way you said that with an MX4. I mean, honestly, that's like a 1v4 type gun, don't you think? Just
it's the fact that it's a pea shooter and you're going through. You got to go through Office, then go through Blue Bar, and then make your way into Sunrise.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, yeah, that gun is like a headshot machine, but it's like, I mean, Jackal is like a body shot machine. Literally shoot someone in the toe and they just die. They just explode into a million pieces and die just from being shot in the toe by that AR.
At least they're playing like Pulse. You can at least maybe get information with the cardiac sensor. And yes, the UMP is not exactly a great weapon, but it's not like it hits better than the MX4 does at least.
Absolutely, and Wimpy just loves taking this fight on this Office door.
Oh my god.
Playing with fire, but he's actually going to get away with that with only losing about 30 health, which is a miracle. He's alive, and he's playing off his teammate Rethinking, but Clicks finds Abonai elsewhere. Abonai, I guess, tried to push into Office and got drone hold, I want to say, through the floor, potentially.
Ooh, it might have been, yeah, because I think he was playing inside of behind the bar or playing inside of Pink. I couldn't tell, but either way, that's your Zofia off the board. Abonai, there goes your entry frag. I'm assuming you're a flex player, and that's not a good start here for the Favelas.
Not good at all, especially when we saw Abonai hitting the QEs before, but Lucas finds Rethinking lurking. Rethinking gonna have to rethink how he died there, you know, on the cams for the next few minutes, and Lucas opening things up for his team. And I mean, it's like I would say like it's similar to what Joe is doing, but they're actually kind of trying to drone out theater and kind of try to take it. But it seems like they're just all over the place here.
Yeah, I think they're trying to exploit these roamers though, because I guess it seems like Joe aren't playing together as roamers. And there's a second kill for DS to get rid of Prophecy, and a lot of these roamers from Joe seem like they're off on their own. Like you said before, it'd be good if they're working like in tandem with each other, but they're all playing very solo, it seems.
Yeah, they all just kind of got picked apart there. The only ones we saw together was like it was Rethinking and Wimpy at the very beginning in security, and then Rethinking ended up, you know, shuffling his way into kitchen and getting taken out by Lucas. And Karn's gonna bait out a plant, bait out a smoke. Just something you can do when you're up a man with a minute to go, as Wimpy's on the flank smacking away at the gridlocks. He's opting to shoot them now, and it looks like the Favelas is kind of wide to this flank from Wimpy already.
Click's taking a lot of damage as well. I don't know if he gets shot from below or where he gets shot from, but he's taking a lot of damage, so he's one prone to die. And he's also one of the players right now only denying that plant. So because they take control of Aqua, have those but on the roof, taking very, very lot of damage from Wimpy as well. And because they take control of Aqua, they have that gridlock as well. Those track stingers deny kind of flank that you saw Wimpy try to do. He can't do the C4 out in his hand, trying to deny the next plant to come through. C4 is thrown out. Looks like will not get the will get the kill onto Karn, so denies the first plant. Beastly gets one of the jolted, and those two good kills to bring it back in the favor. Will Clicks and Wimpy are very low in HP. Trying to take these fights one by one. The smoke canisters will down Lucas, will finish him off actually. Down to a 1v2 as he finishes off Beastly with Thumbus, could easily finish off these last two defenders.
Yeah, I mean, SMG 11 out. He literally just has to kiss him, but that shotgun, oh my word, Clicks. Just absolutely boomsticks Thumbus here and sends him under that pool table with the shotgun burst. And honestly, it's like they spent so much time taking literally control of everything. They're droning everywhere. They drone Theater, Sunrise, Iana Sunrise. They did all that only to stack up on top of each other in Aqua at the very end.
Yeah, it seemed like they did get a good start where they're able to find two roamers, really single them out and get rid of them, but then they couldn't really get any more picks, and they couldn't really formulate a way to push that next site as they had lost players as well, making their way into Aqua too. So unfortunate for Favelas, they're able to make a really good start getting those first two picks. People talk about Aqua time, having this first pick it correlates to winning those rounds, but in that time they still couldn't bait out and actually make the plan happen because again, C4 is smoke, just denying plan to plan.
That's an issue. Wimpy literally just ran across no man's land. Whoever's on the roof missed quite a bit, and Wimpy was able to literally run right past them down a long hallway, and he ended up being huge. I mean, he killed Jolton and then was just there at the end in the 1v1 or in the 1v2 rather with 1 HP with Clicks. So it was just like that's rough. Gotta hit those when the guy's thumping down the hallway like that. Gotta get him. But that's kind of been the difference in this game. A lot of these close rounds just, literally timing and just narrowly missed shots deciding entire rounds here.
Really just little mistakes that really cost Favelas or Joe these rounds. And Joe, now they're a match point. They can take this map and win this 2-0 against the Favelas. We'll go down over to kitchen and service entrance for Joe's next defense, and we'll see exactly how Favelas take it. I think the last time they lost their soft breach, they lost members early on this take upstairs, and that's really what kind of sealed the deal for Favelas when they tried to make the site there, win the site.
Yep, and it's gonna be really come down to whether it's like they're gonna be able to actually make something out of clearing Theater. I mean, they were able to do it before, and actually begin, sledging the floor and everything, but it just wasn't able to materialize into a victory. So again, they're gonna kind of cede Theater to Favelas. I mean, they're not gonna have a setup or anything up there. Diaz is already up here, kind of unsure what's going on. I'm pretty sure he just didn't have a drone or something. Probably just waiting for the drone. And while he's waiting for the drone, the guy who's probably going to be joining Carnage B on the good luck is blown sky high by that C4. Beastly for his 14th kill.
That is huge there. Already get rid of their flank watch, bring in the gridlock with the track stingers. There's no more track stingers, no way to seal off their flanks now. And again, actually don't drone. Like they drone upstairs, they didn't drone downstairs to see if there's a pulse plane below. That's a big one there, PO. But at least now Thumbus is alive this time, so he can go for that push, open up the floorboards, try and displace his operators as much as possible. But I will say, a lot of Joe, just like last time playing very horizontal, playing these horizontal roams. So this soft breaching may or may not really help them.
I mean, it's definitely going to force Wimpy to play this behind this little island here instead of behind the actual lobby desk, because it is breachable at that lobby desk. But you're right. It's gonna kind of come down to him. We saw Abinai actually push down these stairs before the same exact way, and we saw Wimpy shot the drone instead of Abinai's head. How is the engagement going to go this time? Prophecy's wise to that this time, and yeah, Abinai's absolutely handled by Prophecy, and there's another player top white that Prophecy's just got his sights on. And Wimpy just absolutely takes out Jolton. It's looking like Joe is going to take this series. And yeah, it's Stumbus unable to find the shots on the Prophecy. It's all one
down
on
white
five.
stairs. DS Lucas takes down 2 coming on stage, but it's now just Prophecy in a 1v3 as all the rest of the players. It just seemed like Joe were really understanding. You saw Ab and I walked on the stairs like last time, but there was no drone. And of course, you said before, Prophecy wising up, knowing exactly what's happening, and gets the kill onto Ab and I instead. So now that's why he's walking on the stairs. He maybe doesn't see the one lying down in the hallway right by the couch. And here it is, rethinking to finish off DS. It'll be 7-4. They will take this match 2-0 for Joe Esports.
And I mean, props to Joe for kind of mentally collecting themselves after falling down 0-3. I mean, a monstrous game for the Bex dog. The beast dog, whatever you want to call him. Basically just an amazing game from him. And yeah, I mean, Joe, I mean, they pulled that back 0-3 to 7-4. Kind of amazing.
Yeah, I would say like Prophecy as well, 10 kills, 9 deaths. Like definitely the score beholds that most people are doing their job, they're doing very well. But in the end, it seemed like just the pacing and then the way that people were adapting. It's like at first we thought that Joe wasn't adapting very well. They weren't playing certain operators that may help more during their their attacks, but after those 3 rounds they were understanding what was happening. They understand how to make their push, what exactly you saw from Favelas, and they were making adaptations. They were learning, hey, this person usually pushes this angle, this person's usually here, I'm gonna play it like this.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely just switched up in terms of the tempo. Like you said, they changed their whole. They went from I'm scared to go in to, I mean, back to that energy that won them 7-1, that won them Consulate 7-1. They were just balls to the wall, getting after it after those first 3 rounds, and it gets them a nice clean 2-0. And I want to say that gets them a spot in the playoffs. Am I wrong? Am I right?
I think it gets them for 3rd and 4th. I think they're playing for 3rd and 4th now. Is what I saw from the bracket. I saw the bracket from DJ. The bracket shows that they will be playing the winners of the match between Pooled Race and what's it called, PogChamp for 3rd and 4th place, or 3rd or 4th if they lose it, if they win or lose it. We'll see that 2 weeks from now, because next week I believe is all just Canadian CL. We won't see any matches from USCL next week.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens next time. They'll be playing for 3rd or 4th place. Very good from them. I just thought like Favelas, they started out well, but they didn't seem to adapt nearly as well. They made a few mistakes here and there compared to what we saw from Joe Esports.
Yeah, I definitely think they're going to be a team because like we saw on Consulate, there are times they would like reinforcing a minute into the round type stuff. I mean, it's like once they get once they hit the meetings, team meetings, and they read the strat book, and everybody knows what they need to be doing, and they have a synergy down and everything else. I think they're going to be pretty difficult to deal with, assuming they are actually playing in those stage 2 relegations. I'm sorry, but like my brain is like pea brain sized. Sometimes I don't really understand how the format works. But
yeah, I see the bracket. I think since they lost that, they're so unfortunately Beast Coast and Spiker are already in that 7th, 8th place play tiebreaker.
Okay, so then relegations.
So they can't go to relegations. Yeah, they can't go to relegations. I think right now they're stuck in 5th or 6th.
I don't have a lot up here sometimes, so it's like, but yeah, so they're out of relegations, but definitely playing for some placement there. But yeah, it's they're definitely going to be a team to be looking out for down the line, just with a little more.
I'm excited to see them grow some more. Excited to see both Joe and Favelas grow more and make their way maybe to do 1st or 2nd place next time rather than being in 3rd or 4th. But we'll see you next time, guys. So this is the end of our video. This is our 2-0 in the favor of Joe Esports. We'll see you guys next time, probably a couple weeks from now, something like that. Again, I'm your caster Benial here with Cookies. See you next time.
And yeah, we'll see you next time.